Hello, friend, and welcome to this episode of Chaos to Calm. Now, I bet it feels like you've tried all the perimenopause advice out there and nothing is actually changing how you feel. Today, we're going to be talking about why more tips, hacks, tricks, advice, all of that aren't the answer, and what really does drive transformation in your 40s and 50s. So make sure you stay tuned until the end because I will share exactly how to take the next steps towards feeling calm, comfortable, and in control of your perimenopause experience because, yes, it is possible, of course. For those of you I haven't met, I am Sarah, the perimenopause naturopath, and I've helped hundreds of women over 40 navigate perimenopause with confidence so they can feel great in their bodies and reclaim their mood and energy. So if you're feeling like your changing hormones are hijacking your mood, energy, and weight, and you want to change that in a holistic way, then this is the place for you, my friend, because each episode I'll share with you my views on what is happening in your body, why you're feeling the way that you are, and how you can change that with actionable advice to help you move from chaos to calm and feel more comfortable in your body and, of course, your clothes. So let's get into today's episode, which is number 95, can't believe it, of Chaos to Calm podcast. So today's episode, I am asking the question, are you tired of perimenopause advice that doesn't work? And of course, I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I think is the missing link for you to create lasting change or transform your perimenopause experience. First, I want to start with the story because this is kind of what made me think of this week's topic. I had some car trouble. A warning lights come on in my car, and like most of us, I Googled it. I wanted to know, is it a small issue, a big one? Can I ignore it, or do I actually need to take action? So I tried lots of the DIY fixes that I found. It took me hours. It used a lot of fuel. Nothing had changed. So eventually I called my mechanic. Probably should have done that first. Fixed it in under like 2 hours for $50. And honestly, he totally undercharged. He should have charged me more. But if I'd gone straight to him, I could have saved myself the stress, the time, the fuel, and not knowing if I was wrecking my car by driving it more. And that's kind of when it hit me, like that's exactly what's happening to women in perimenopause at the moment. We're absolutely swimming in info. Podcasts, blogs, Instagram reels, TikTok tips, Pinterest boards full of perimenopause hacks. And a lot of the advice isn't bad, but there's just so much of it that it becomes overwhelming. And also, how do you know what's good and what's not? For years, I've been in constant creation mode, and I've actually been contributing to that noise. Weekly podcasts, weekly blogs, 20 plus Pinterest pins a week, daily social IG posts, real stories. And, all the time I knew that it's, especially on Instagram, it's only going to reach 1% to 2% of followers and disappear in 24 hours. And so it really did leave me feeling burnt out. And I'm sure that all that info leaves you feeling burnt out. And that's why I haven't posted or created much this year. And that's okay, because consuming constant content, it doesn't create better results for you. In fact, it can do the opposite. And that's why I'm shifting the way that I show up for you. So going forward, there'll just be monthly blogs and podcasts, certainly not daily. Social media hasn't been for a while. So I can spend more of my time and energy going deep with my clients inside my programs and consults so we can really create that transformation, create that change for them and get them taking action, because that's where that transformation happens, in support, accountability, personalized a plan, not consuming more content. So I think when you consume too much info, you don't know what's actually relevant to your body. You don't know if that info is good or bad unless, you've trained in the field, and you can get paralyzed and really stuck in that research mode and start second guessing your own intuition and understanding of your body. And you're really just relying on strangers on the internet, people selling generic solutions to tell you what you need. But the problem is, or one of the problems is, they don't know you. They don't know your health history, your genetics, your stress levels, what you've eaten, drunk, or done for decades leading up to this point. Because perimenopause is never just about fluctuating hormones. Sure, that's a big part of it, but it's not all of it. So I had a client, Sharon, she'd spent hundreds of dollars on supplements. She regimentedly followed every new protocol she came across. She wanted to get rid of her symptoms like hot flushes, sweats, and weight gain. But her pantry was now full of half-finished supplement pots because she'd stopped or given up on each protocol as she went through because they didn't really seem to work. They weren't helping with her hot flushes and sweats in particular. And I think the reasons that they don't work is, and I have done a podcast episode in the past on quick fixes and why they don't work. If you want to dive a bit deeper into that, you can certainly go do that, and I'll leave that episode in the show notes for you. But one of the big reasons that they don't work is because they often don't contain the right form and or therapeutic quantities of the nutrients or herbs in them, because the TGA does have tight rules for over-the-counter or over-the-internet supplements in Australia. And also, it's about what's more cost-effective for the company making them. So sometimes you get a really poorly absorbed and utilised form of the nutrient in the supplement, and that's why it cannot work. And I'll be working with women and they'll say, oh, well, I tried that and that didn't work. And often that's part of the reason. But what was the bigger issue for Sharon, and possibly this is the issue for you too, is that those supplements weren't targeted for the real drivers behind her symptoms. So, like I said before, perimenopause doesn't happen in isolation. It's 100% influenced by your health history, your genetics, your liver, gut, metabolism, and nervous system, how they're all functioning, the stress you've carried and probably still carry, how busy or overscheduled your life is as well, and of course, what you've eaten, drunk, and done over your life so far. So when we stepped out and zoomed out and I looked at her bigger picture, we did some blood tests to get a deeper understanding of what's going on inside. We could see what was fueling her symptoms, and it wasn't what those sub-protocols were targeting. So Sharon didn't need more information. She didn't need more subs to get her transformation. Let's talk about what actually drives that transformation and what worked for Sharon there as well. So if you want to transform your perimenopause experience, and you totally can, it's not about stockpiling more info tips or hacks. It's about understanding what's really driving your symptoms. It's really just perimenopause, and will be unique for you based on all those factors that I mentioned before. But you also need to have a personalized plan that fits your health, your genetics, your life, what's going on for you. And so it's addressing that, what is really driving how you're feeling, and also suits your capacity for change there as well, because your symptoms will be unique. Not everyone has perimenopause symptoms, and that's because of their health history, genetics, what they've eaten, drunk, and done over their lifetime so far. So it is really important to understand your contributing factors, why your body's having a hard time adapting and adjusting to those perimenopause hormone changes, and what to do about it, what's going to work for you. So the other massive thing that helps Sharon and helps all my clients is actually support and accountability. We all are human. We all need that love and support, sometimes a kick in the pants to follow through, to stick with things, to actually get started and make change, because always there's something going on in life. There's never really a perfect time to get started or to do something about your health or change the way that you're eating or the things that you drink and do. But with support and accountability, it makes it much easier to do that, because you're also feeling like you're not alone. You're realizing that other people are going through similar to you. And if it's step by step, like follow the bouncing ball kind of thing, it makes it much easier for you to take that change. And we can do smaller changes to get you started and get momentum there as well. So yeah, it's about being able to adjust what you're doing as well when life throws you curveballs, because let's face it, our 40s and 50s is the busiest phase of life. There's a lot of curveballs. There's a lot of things to juggle and a lot coming in. And I do really feel like this is my superpower. It's part of the reason I wanted to become a naturopath, connecting the dots for you in your health picture, simplifying or removing the noise, and just really creating clear, personalized plans and a path forward for women with simple, doable actions that get you started, keep you going right through your busy life there as well. And that's really been my passion and purpose. It's why I started training to become a naturopath. It still is, to help you understand what to eat, drink, and do to support and nourish your body. So perimenopause isn't a shit show, but an incredible transformation for your body and mind, because it actually is possible to have really an uneventful perimenopause, to just have a gentle and pleasant transformation or transition across. So if you'd like to stop collecting information and start taking action that's personalized and helps you understand what's really driving how you're feeling, then please do reach out. You can book a free clarity call from my website and we can talk about how I might support you. And I'm happy to share with you what I think that you need to do or what needs to happen for you to be able to feel amazing through perimenopause and beyond. There's no obligation in you booking a call with me. I just really want you to know what's going to work well for you. And so, in summarizing what we've talked about today, I just really feel strongly that it's not about more information. Information doesn't drive transformation. It's not going to get you feeling different. We can collect all of these tips and hacks and have Pinterest boards on, I don't know, whatever we have Pinterest boards on. Yeah, I do it. You do it when you're researching. I've got one going for my garden of what I want it to look like in landscaping. An inspiration board. Cool, that's fine. Maybe you've got recipes you've collected there on Pinterest as well or saved in your Instagram. But what is going to get you actually using and doing those things? What's going to get you cooking those recipes? It's not collecting more of them. It's not waiting for that magical day when you're not busy and you've got more time. This is kind of as good as it gets. In our 40s and 50s, our kids are getting older. They don't need us so much. And honestly, there's always going to be something filling up the time. So we really do just need to get that, find that what resonates, or the person that works well for us to give us that support, that accountability. And I think that one of the most important things is understanding what's driving how you're feeling so that you can better understand why you need to make the changes being suggested to you and how to go about them and how to help them stick. So information, it doesn't drive your transformation. Personalization, understanding what's going on for you and what to do about it, and support and accountability, that's what gets you change. That's what gets you transformation. That's what gets you feeling amazing in perimenopause. All right. That brings us to the end of our episode. So if you found this one helpful, please share it with a friend who needs a reminder to stop collecting information. And while you're there, please do rate and review the podcast, because that means more women get shown the podcast and episodes and have the opportunity to transform their perimenopause from chaos to calm. So thank you so much for listening and sharing your time with me today. Until next time, keep transforming your perimenopause experience from chaos to calm.